Hey Female, it's Shelby. Today we have a full body workout. We're going to use 3 different accessories. A chair, you can use a stool, a chair. You just want a little bit of cushion on it because we're going to be putting our legs up on it. And then we're going to be using a resistance band. I'm using a fabric one. If you don't have one, you can totally do this without it. And then light to medium on that, and then 3-pound weights. So we're going to get started by putting that band on first. So putting that band on, slide that band up and over the thighs, and oh, I almost forgot to start my watch. Doesn't count in my mind. I don't know about y'all, unless we hit start. Okay, so band up over those knees, couple inches up, and then feet hip distance apart, and then we'll drop it down into a squat just to wake up those legs. So you want your feet hip distance apart. As you go down, you want a little push out on that band. So what we want to avoid happening is the knees collapsing in. So those knees stay as wide as those hips, and tracking about knee over toe or behind it. It's okay to go a little bit in front of it. And then just holding that steady pace. Drive it down on the way up, thinking about squeezing into the glutes. We're going to start to add on at the bottom with a double pulse. This time go down, hold, pulse up, down, come all the way up. Arms can stay still. Arms can move with you. It's whatever feels good. That pulse doesn't feel great yet, leave it out and just stick with that squat. We got 15 seconds to go, and then we're going to hold it down, and we're going to pulse those hips up and down, lifting up one heel. Last time up, go down and hold. Lift up one heel, little pulse up, down, slow and steady. Thinking about pushing that booty back, and then you really want to feel the glute, the quad, the hamstring of the leg that your heel is lifted up on. Get a little bit lower. We're going to switch out those heels in 3, 2, and 1. Switch out to that other heel, little pulse up, down, slow and steady. Drop a tiny bit lower, 10 more seconds here, that's it. We'll stand up, we'll shake it out, push into the ball of the foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Push it up, shake out those legs. Stay here though. We're gonna go back to those squats one more time. So reset, feet hip distance apart, drop it down, push it up. First few, we're just gonna flush out those legs. We're gonna add on pretty quick this time, 15 seconds. Enjoy that recovery. Maybe start to think about trying to tap elbows to knees. Doesn't happen today, it's okay, but it's a great way to force yourself to get lower. Last 2, we're adding on. Last one down, hold. Knees go out, in, all the way back up. Drop it down, knees out, in, push it up. Same thing, that double pulse out doesn't feel great. Maybe you go back to that pulse up and down. And then think about your feet for a second. As you pulse out, you want to keep the inside edges of your feet firmly planted. So we're strong through that ankle joint. We got 15 seconds here. We're holding it down. Final set of pulses here. Can you guess it? We're going to finish pulsing those knees out and in. Last 2. Last 1. Down, hold. Pulse the knees out. In, 15 seconds. It should burn, should be a little shaky. That's normal, that's okay. I'm feeling it too. We're almost there. 5, get a little lower. I know you can. 3, 2, 1. Push it up, shake it out. Whew. And leave that band on. We're gonna go over to that chair. So going over to that chair, we're gonna start with that left foot in front, right foot a little bit back. We're gonna get low into a lunge. Hands just light on your chair, your stool, or you could hold the wall. And then from here, hover that back foot, press it back, and pull it in. So going into little kick back. Up to you, you can tap the foot in, you can kick back, tap the toe, or you can hold in a hover, whatever feels better for you. One hand can always come to that low back, low belly, check in. Even though we're not focused on the core at this moment, it is still working hard for us. Back is flat. Every exhale, think about drawing the belly button up and into the spine. Flex your foot as you kick back. We have 20 seconds. Hands are light in front of you. If you want, you can lift them. I like to keep them down because it forces me to stay low. Just don't want to put your palms down on that chair. Last 10 seconds. We're holding back. We're going to pulse that heel up 1 inch, down 1 inch. Last time out, in, back, and hold. Tap the ground, lift, tap, lift. You should really be feeling that front leg, but you're going to feel that back leg just a tiny bit too. Maybe take opposite hand, low back, check in, it's flat, low belly's pulling up. Whew. Last 3, 2, and 1. Pull it back in, hold, pulse to the side, in, side, in. Didn't give you time to think on that one because this one just burns. It's going to be over before you know it though. We're here for 5. You got this. Get a little lower. 4. Last 3 reps. Last 2. Last 1. Foot down. Shake it out. Whew. Shake those legs. Roll those shoulders. And then from here, we're going to go into a plank on the chair. Leave the band on. If you want to take it off, you totally can though. So just gripping onto your chair wherever it feels nice and stable for you. Walk it back, feet hip distance apart, and then hold in that plank here to start. Drive the heels back, tuck that tailbone under, connect to those low abdominals. From here, we lift the right leg up, set the right leg down, left leg up, set it down. If that alternating leg lift doesn't feel good today, keep the feet down, hold that plank. Plank is the foundation. You need that strong foundation first before we add anything on. If you start to feel the low back, it means that leg's going up a little high at the top. Stop a little sooner. We're gonna add on with a double pulse here. So next time you're on that right leg, hold it up. Go up, down, set the foot down, other side, up, down, one more time, each leg, and then we hold that plank. All right, y'all, feet down, plank, hold. Drop those elbows wide to the side, push up for that push up. Always an option to drop to those knees. Take your push up from there, or you can always hold in that plank first instead. Feet a little wider, gives you a little more support. We're here for 20 more seconds. You've got this. Doesn't matter how far you go down. It's all about moving that body as one unit. Chest, hips together. 3. Exhale, push up. 2. One more time down. Up. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk it in. Shake it out. Roll those shoulders back. And then we're back to those legs. All right, so this time, right leg goes in front. Get nice and low. Tailbone tucked under. Hands light on your chair, stool, or a wall. Hold down low. Back toe hovers. Kick it back. Pull it in. Kick back and in. So remember, you can tap the ground in. You can tap the ground out. Just try and stay low on that front leg. Think about pushing more into the heel of the foot. Big toe gets a little lighter. Fingertips light on the chair. Try not to push down into it. Think about light, soft grip, forcing yourself to stay low. But if you ever need to come up, you can. It's okay. Just right back down into it as soon as you can. Those legs got a little bit of a recovery, so hopefully this doesn't feel too bad just yet. We're halfway there. And then we have our pulses. We're gonna hold that back leg back behind us, tap the ground and lift. Last 5, maybe drop a little lower. 4, ooh, shoulders down, neck is long. Last 2, last one back and hold. Tap the ground, lift. Maybe take opposite hand, low back, it's flat. If you feel it arching out, you're lifting that leg a little too high. Ooh, a little lower. Strong, steady here. Last 15 seconds. Hold on to it. Shoulders soft. Think about chin off the chest. Your gaze is out. You barely want to be able to see that big toe. Last one. Down. Pull it in. Lift to the side. Lower. Did you forget? Oh, it's always funny to me, like when I'm teaching in person, if somebody will tell me if I forgot something on the other side. Ooh, or if they're just like, no, we'll let it roll. I've seen both and love both. Last 4, last 3, Last 2, get a little lower. Last 1. Ooh, shake it out. Let it go. Whew, I'm sweating. Grab a sip of water. Take that band off. We're going to let it go for a second, but set it to the side close by because we'll come back to it. We're going to grab those weights. I'm using a set of 3s today. You can go lighter 2s, you can go a little heavier 5s, but I wouldn't go too much heavier than 5s. So we're going to start in a little hinge forward. So slight bend in the knees. Don't feel like you have to go all the way back into a squat. And then tailbone is tucked under. Hands start underneath the shoulders. Think about a light grip on the weights, and then sweep the arms up. Exhale, lower the arms down, inhale. Sweep and lower. So your pace can be a little faster, a little slower than mine. You just want it to be controlled and consistent on this one. As you sweep up, think about flexing into the backs of those arms. If being in that hinge doesn't feel good, you can come up. It's just a little different sensation. Still feel those legs a little bit in this position. If it feels like too much, come up and out of it just a tiny bit. Find that sweet spot for you. Sweet spot is somewhere you can hold in. We're here for another 30 seconds. And then we're going to get even more into those triceps with a fun little diamond press back behind the body. 5. Good pace. Every time you sweep up, core tight, ribs in. Last 3. Last 2. This one back and hold. I'm going to turn my back to you. Connect your hands, inhale. Kick out as you exhale. So think about your arms making a diamond behind your back. Pull, tap, extend those arms out here. Soft bend in those knees. You can keep that little hinge still on this one. Shoulders pushing down and back. Strong and steady. Think about your gaze lifting up and out. Try not to look back to your toes. Keep that cervical spine in line with the rest of it. We're adding on. Next time those arms are out, little pulse up, down, pull it in. Push out, pulse, down, pull it in. 3 more like that. And then we're holding those hands together. Last time. Out, up, down, pull it in. Now just a little pulse up, down, up, down. This should really, really start to burn into the backs of those arms. Hold it. Bite that shake. You can always come down for a second, shake it out, and then you're back into it. 20 seconds. Gaze out, shoulders down. Keep pulling those weights towards each other. Final 5, 4, lift a little higher. 3, 2, and 1, and let it go. Roll it out. Okay, so coming up nice and tall. Arms just go down by the side, slight bend in the knees, just an athletic stance for this one. Lift the arms up, exhale, lower the arms down as you inhale. Same thing, controlled pace. As you go up, shoulders soft, down the back. As you pull down, think about squeezing underneath those armpits, lats and traps engage. If this one starts to get a little heavy, bend the elbows, or you could always lift one arm up to the side at a time. Find what works for you. Find that option that lets you keep moving. And you could also do this one without weights. Just working with your body weight, you will still feel it, I promise. We've got 20 more seconds here. And then we're gonna hold those arms up. It's shoulder height. We're gonna pull the weights into the shoulders, kind of like you're coming into like bird flapping arms. And then punch out into that big T. Last 3. Good job on that pace. Last 2, chin up. This one up and hold. So up to shoulder height, hold. Pull the hands in. Punch those arms out to the side. So pull in and extend. So if this starts to get a little heavy, arms drop down a little bit. You can ditch the weights. Find what serves you. You can pause, shake it out, and then back into it as quickly as you can. But once you're in that movement, you're controlled. You're moving with intention. It's not about how many reps you get in. That last one that we do though, you should feel challenged. You should feel the backs of those arms, the fronts of the shoulders, all working hard. If you're not feeling them ever, that means you need to bump up that weight just a tiny bit or hit a couple more reps. Final 20 seconds here. We're going to hold those arms out. We're going to rotate palms up to the ceiling, lower, or keep the arms up, rotate palms up, palms down. Last two. Last one out and hold. Palms flip up and down, flip up and down. You've got this. Shoulders soft, chin up and off that chest. Just here for 15 more seconds. Those arms are going to slowly lower back down to the sides in 5. Shoulders down, 4. You can always lower those elbows. Last 2, or take more bend. Last 1, palms up. Slowly lower those arms down to the side. Shake it out, let it go. So from here, feet stay about hip distance apart, little bend in those knees. Arms start by the side. We're going to pull the hands in, tap the knuckles, extend out, big X. Pull the hands together, punch out wide, big X. So together, reach, think YMCA, together, down low. Essentially, you're making a big X over and over again, where you're drawing a Y at the top and a V down at the bottom. Same thing, pace is consistent. And you can always go lighter on the weights, a little heavier, or do it without the weights. As you go up, avoid any arching into that low back. So as those hands come together, ribs are tight, tailbone tucks under, reach it long, keep that little tuck. Last 20 seconds. We're gonna hold those arms down to the side. We're gonna finish our arms off in little pulses, back an inch, forward an inch. Final 3. Last 2, keep breathing, reach, move with intention. Last 1, together, back down, hold. Palms stay forward, pulse back in. Think about lightening up your grip on those weights. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. As you go back, if you're feeling yourself arch and pop that booty, tuck under, a little smaller range of motion. We're here for 15 more seconds. Shoulders down, light bend in the knees. Squeeze those shoulder blades together for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull it in, shake it out, and drop those weights to the side. So we're going to grab that band again. We're going to pull that band back on, and then we're going to come down onto our back on top of the chair. So easiest way to get there to start is to just sit down on the edge, scoot yourself forward, and then slide yourself down. So sliding yourself down, you want your shoulder blades on, your low back, your hips are off. Hands can go to the hips, reach up to the ceiling, whatever feels good for him here. And then we drop those hips down, inhale, push the hips up, exhale. So it's not a really big range of motion on this one. If you feel it in your low back at all, it gets even smaller. Thinking about those knees for a second. Knees continue to push out on the band. Great one, working the posterior chain, but you're also working that core because your core is protecting that low back. Push up, draw that belly button up towards the spine. We're gonna start to add on here. Push up, hold up, knees pulse out, in, hips down. Push up, pulse out, in, down, up. Final 15 seconds. We're gonna hold it up. We're gonna pulse out and in on the band. Just like at the start of class, you wanna keep the inside edges of those feet heavy on the ground. If you feel yourself rolling, you're pushing too far on that band. Last time down, up and hold, little pulse out, in, out, in. Thinking about consistent pace on the way out and on the way in. Start to push your hips up a little bit higher. Try not to drop down into that low back. Squeeze it up. 15 seconds to go. We're gonna hold those knees in, hip distance apart. Those hips do a tiny little pulse up and down in 5. Lift a little higher, 4. Last 3, 2, and 1. Hold the knees in, little tiny pulse up, down. slow and steady. Squeeze those glutes. Think about pushing a little bit higher every single time. Final 15 seconds to go. You've got this. Drive up. Belly button pulls in towards the spine. 5, 4, fight the shake. 3, last 2, last 1. So there's no smooth way to get out of this. Maybe just go hands down, slide it down, or you could slide back the way that you came. Once you're down on the ground, we're going to slide that band off. So slide your band off, and then we're going to set up for a little side plank series using the chair. So this is going to feel core predominantly, but you will feel your upper body, your shoulder working, and then we're going to work those inner thighs too. So obliques, inner thighs, shoulders, a little bit of everything. So for this one, you're going to start with your right forearm down on the ground, and then you want to scoot away a little bit, elbow and shoulder stacked. That bottom leg's going to stay down to start. Top leg is up on the chair. From here, we're just going to push up, exhale, down, inhale, hip taps, push up, lower it down. As you push up, thinking about squeezing that right hip, right rib together. And then that top hand for more support, stability can come down. If you feel like you roll forward with your shoulders like I do, hand light behind the head, elbow wide is a great way to help keep that alignment of the upper body. We're here for 15 more seconds, and then we're going to hold it up. We're going to go little bitty pulses, up an inch and down an inch. Start to think more about that top inner thigh. At the top, push down into the chair. Last one, up and hold. Hips go down, up, slow, steady. 10 seconds. We're holding the hips up. We're going to pull that bottom knee up to the top. We'll set that top hand down on the ground first. Last one. Top hand down to start. Bottom knee pulls up and down. Up and down. So really working that top inner thigh, bottom oblique. 15 seconds, y'all. You got this. Strong and steady. Shoulders down if you're feeling good. Hand comes up behind that head. If you start to get a little shaky, go back down. Final 3, we're coming down. 2, last 1. Down, hip down. Shake it out for a quick second. Whew. Towel, water. Okay, y'all. We have one more set. Super short here. If this doesn't work, then you're going back to that bottom knee down movement. So this time, bottom leg extends underneath the chair, that bottom leg long. So from here, push up. Bottom leg pulls up to the chair. Lower down, hip taps. Push up, lift. Lower it down. If this doesn't feel good, bottom knee comes back down. Lift and lower the hips. Last 2. We're holding it up. Last 1, pulse the bottom leg down, up. 10 strong seconds. If you're feeling it, top hand behind the head, that bottom inner thigh, top inner thigh working. Last 2, last 1, knee down, hips down, let it go. Shake it out. All right, between sides, we're gonna come onto the back, and then those heels are gonna come up on top of the chair. So onto the back, heels on top of the chair, hands down by the sides. You want your heels a few inches in front of the hips. From here, we're going to push the hips up. Exhale, lower down, inhale. So push and pull. Really working into the posterior chain. The more you can push through the heels, the more you'll naturally connect to the backs of the legs. Core is also really working. If you want more core, arms reach up to the ceiling. Makes your core work a little harder to support that low back. We have 20 seconds here. We're going to hold it up at the top, and then we are going to lift that right leg up, lower it down, pull the left leg up, lower down, marching out those legs. Last 3, we'll set the hands down before we march. In 2, this one up and hold. So push up, hold up, hands down. Pull that right knee into the chest, right foot down. Left knee in, foot down. Take your time on this one. Don't feel like you have to rush. Pause between sides. you're shifting that weight into the opposite leg here. Hips stay lifted. If it feels like too much, hips go down a little bit, but you want to keep your back flat. If you're feeling good, arms can start to reach up. Other option is to start to extend your leg up to the ceiling. Down with that foot. Lift, kick up. Set that foot down. Last 20 seconds here. We're going to hold that right leg up. You can keep it bent. You can go up and straight. We're going to pulse the hips. Extend or bend that right leg up. Pulse the hips up, down, slow and steady. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch out those legs. Remember, hands can always come back down. Hips pulse up, down, down. Hips are even. Core is active. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left foot down, slowly come back down to the mat. Hug those knees in, little rock, side to side. And then from here, we're going to roll it up and go to the second side of that inner thigh, core, upper body work. I'm going to move my chair the other way. You don't have to, but just so that I can continue to face y'all. Whew. All right, so setting back up. This time, that right leg is up on top. That left knee is down low. Find that sweet spot. You know, the majority of that calf of the top leg on your chair. From here, we pulse up, lower down. So you can start with that top hand down. If you're feeling good, this is a good one to lift it up on. Exhale, scoop up. Inhale, slowly lower down. Start to think about pushing up a little bit more into that top leg. Push down to the inside edge of that foot. Feel the inner thigh start to connect. Inner thigh also works up into those abdominals. Last 3. Last 2. We're holding it up. Last one up, hold. Top hand down. Bottom knee pulls up and down. Up and down. It's not a super long set. If it doesn't feel good, knee down on the ground. We'll pulse those hips out. Speaking of pulses, just realized we didn't pulse. We're all human, right? Last 2. Last 1. Knee down, hips pulse up, down, slow, steady. Chest is open. Last 10 seconds. We're coming down after this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, let it go. Okay, shake it out again. And then this time, bottom leg is going long and straight too. Top leg stays on top of the chair. Top hand is going to start down on the ground. From here, we're going to push up, lift the top leg, lower it down. Push up, lift, and lower back down. Not long sets here. If it doesn't feel good, bottom knee goes back down onto the ground. Hips go up and down. If you're feeling good, hand comes up. This one up and hold. Pulse the bottom leg down, up, 15 seconds. That is it. We can do this. Breathe. Lift that hip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, and let it go. Shake it out. All right, we're going to finish with that band on. Finishing band up and over the thighs. And then we're going to come back to that chair. So band up over thighs, facing back towards that chair. And then this time, hands are going to come on top of the chair. Walk the feet back and hold. Find that good spot for your wrists. I personally like to grip onto the edge. Flex the feet back, tuck the tailbone under, roll. From here, we're going to slowly pull that right knee in, extend the right leg out. Left knee pulls in, extend it out. As you pull in, think about tucking your tailbone under, like you're trying to pull it down onto the mat underneath you as you pull the knee in. Your gaze is out beyond the hands. If you look down though, you want your hands to be underneath those shoulders. So we've got 15 seconds here. We're going to pull that right knee and hold, and then pulse that knee out to the side, back in. One more each side. And then once we're back on that right leg, hold that knee in. So right knee holds in, go out to the side, back down. 4. Last 3. Shoulders down, chin up. 2. Last 1. Right leg back, left knee in, push up to the side, lower down. Imagine you're doing a same knee, same elbow mountain climber. Hips stay square. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Leg extends, mountain climbers. 1 final time. We're done after this. Ooh. Soft bend in those elbows. 15 seconds. That is it. You've got this, Famel. Pull those knees in. Scoop that belly button up. Last 3. 2. Last 1. Hold that plank for 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. Push up. Down dog. Let it go. Take your time. Bend the right knee. Bend the left. Shoulders pull back away from the ears. One more time. Bend the right. Bend the left. And then slowly slide it up, or roll it up. Slide the band off. And then we're just going to stretch out the backs of the legs really quick. So you can use that chair if you want. Hands on the handles or armrests, hands on the chair, whatever feels good. Left leg bends, right leg extends straight out in front. Pull that big toe towards you. Feel that nice stretch all up the back of that right leg. Soften that breathing. Soften the shoulders. 10 more seconds. We'll switch out those legs. Maybe you close your eyes. Start to focus on that breath a little more. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Switch out those legs. This time, left leg in front, right leg back. As you sit down into this, booty goes back. That left toe pulls up and off the ground. Nice big stretch up the back of that leg. Start to slow the breath a little bit more. Holding for 10 more seconds. And then we're going to step the left foot back to meet the right. In 3, 2, 1. Keep the hinge forward. Left foot back to the right. Just reach those arms down long. You can hold the arms, little sway. Stretch both of the backs of the legs. Let those arms hang long again. For 3, 2, 1. Open those eyes. If you close them, slowly roll it up. Reaching up to the ceiling. And then bring those arms back down to the side. Maybe roll out those shoulders. Take a couple hugs across the body. Whatever feels good, wherever you're tight. Just take a second, stretch it out. You're nice and warm. And then if you have time, keep stretching. If you don't, awesome job today, you guys. You did great. And I will see you next time, Famel.